Good morning, Arthur Cherubs. Hi, Pollywogs. Hi, Tadpoles. Hi, Guppies 1. Hi, Guppies 2. Oh, it's so good to hear your voices in my imagination. But anyway, it's been a beautiful day today. We have another glorious day that the Lord has given us. I hope you all have had the opportunity to look at the videos and keeping up with our lessons on how we are to live in this life and what does God say about different things and different subject matters. And so we are just thankful that we have the Word of God because it's really a road map to how to live in this life. It's a roadmap to how to live as a mama, a papa, a sister, a brother. It's just a roadmap to lead to a peaceful and a blessed life. So yesterday, I had a choking attack. Have my water today just in case so that I don't have to run out and get some water. But anyway, I know that probably some of you said, wow, that's a crazy lady. But you know what? I'm crazy for Christ. I'm crazy about sharing the good news with as many people and as many children as I possibly can so that your life can be blessed, your life can be filled with wisdom, and that when situations happen, you will know where to go. You will know what to do. You will know how to live in this life. It's so important to know how to live in this life. And really, don't lean on your own understanding. But in all your ways, just acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. That's not my words. That was taken from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 3 through 5. It's just in my memory. But anyway, we're learning this week about words and things that come from our mouth. But before we go there, we're going to go with today's word of the day. And we know that yesterday's word began with K. So what does today's word begin with? Yes, you're absolutely right. L. And so today's word is lucid. Isn't that a cool word? Lucid. When something's lucid, it's very clear in your mind. It's very easily understood. Lucid. Yeah, that's a good word. Good word to put in your vocabulary because, again, as I said, building your vocabulary really helps you. And then when people are speaking and using these words, you will know what they mean and you will understand what they're talking about. But remember, if people are saying words that you don't have in your vocabulary bank, then you need to ask, what does that word mean? It's okay to ask. Smart people ask questions because that's how we get answers and that's how we get smarter. So let's always try to make ourselves smarter as we travel through this life. So as I was saying, that words are important. Words are very important. You want to be lucid when you speak. You want to be clear. You want to be understood. You don't want anyone to find it difficult to try to figure out what you're saying. You want to be as clear as you possibly can. And so James talks a lot about this little thing right there called the tongue and how the tongue can get us in a lot of trouble if we don't control it, if we don't train it, if we don't tame it, if we don't think about what we're saying before we say it. So it's important to know what God says about our words. Yesterday we spoke about how when children said bad words back in the day, you get your mouth washed out with soap. And not that soap would actually wash out the words, but it would be a reminder to you the next time you thought about putting out that bad word, you think about what the punishment was for doing that. So it's real important, children. And it's not only just because you don't want to be punished, but it's also important because you don't want to be looked at as a person with a yuck mouth. I've seen young ladies that walk around town and are on the bus or in different places, and the words that they just let pour out of their mouth like it's okay is really disturbing. And so, young ladies, young men, boys and girls, please don't let this get you in trouble, or don't let this cause people to look at you in a low way, because that's what it is when you start using cuss words, and that's how you speak. It's thinking low. You may hear some drops in the background. It's raining right now. And so it's always very nice when the earth gets replenished with the water from above. So let's move on. So how can we know what we should say and what we should not say? How do you know what to say and what to not say? The Paul, who was an apostle, who was a messenger of God, he gave us clear instructions how to use our tongues, how to use these little things. He said that we should only say things that are good for building people up and helping them to be better. We should use our words or our tongues and our mouths to help build people up and to make them better. And you can find that lesson in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Bambi, but in the movie Bambi, it's an old movie with the deer. So it's a good movie to watch. It's an old Disney movie, very old, very wholesome. But it's little animals speaking in this forest and their relationship that they have with one another. And Bambi has this friend named Thumper, who is a rabbit. So you have a deer and a rabbit who are buddies. And this rabbit friend, Thumper, his mom said to him that if you can't say something good, don't say anything at all. How many of you have heard that? If you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. Zip your mouth. Put tape over it. Shut it down. Because you really want to think about what you're saying. Is it building up or is it tearing down? Is it necessary? You know, sometimes things are not even necessary to say. It's better to just let it go out of your mind and not waste your time or look at tearing someone down because of what you're saying. And so that's basically what Paul was saying, that he was telling us that the things that should come from our mouth should be building people up and helping them. And it's the same thing as Thumper said in the movie Bambi. If you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. This rule shows us that we should never say bad words or curse words, because those are never building up. They're never helping anyone. They're never good. It also tells us that we should not tell dirty jokes. See, we don't realize how far this idea of our words stretches. It goes beyond just saying something bad to someone or that hurts someone's feelings, but it also stretches to how we interact with other people. Dirty jokes, are not good. Okay? They're really, people may think that they're funny, they think that they're cool, that when they're telling a dirty joke, but it really isn't. It's very degrading and it's very disgusting. Yeah, that's the word I'm going to say, disgusting. Paul told Christians in the town of Ephesus, remember we looked at the map and it's modern day Turkey? He said to the people in Ephesus, he said, listen, that there should be no obscenity. And obscenity means just nastiness or filthiness or foolish talk. Foolish talk is like when we, sometimes jokes are fun and funny, but when we start talking foolishness, like, oh, I'm going to hit you in the head with a piece of pipe, or I'm going to just get rid of you, or I don't like you, or you're ill. If we start saying foolish things that, or I'm not your friend, that's foolish talk. Don't say that. It's not a good one to either. Or if we have these coarse means like hard joking. Joking that can be very rude and not building people up. It can be very disrespectful. So Paul was saying, these kind of coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving. So that's what he's saying, that we should be about being thankful. We should be about showing thanksgiving, not talking foolishness, but talking words that are showing that we're thankful. And you can find that in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse number 4. Many times, I know this happens, that teenagers and children children use bad words because they think it's cool. They really do. You know, you think you're like, you know, you got the crowd, everybody's looking and everybody's laughing, and you're like, everyone's just watching you and got their eyes all on you because of what you just said. That's, you know, and even sometimes even making bad jokes about a person who's in the crowd can be very, very hurtful. We know what we talked about the first week. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So it's not good that we tell these dirty jokes to try to fit in or be cool. But we must remember that Christians are different. We're different from the world. We are different. And if being cool, children, if being cool means that we have to cuss and use bad words, then guess what? We don't need to be cool. If that's what people think cool is, then guess what? We're just going to be corny. Corny, corny, corny. Because corny is cool. Corny's cool. When you're being corny about the things that are around you in this world and people thinking that the bad things that they're saying are cool, then I'd rather be considered corny. So that's what we want to do. So sometimes young people think that it makes them look like a grown-up if they can cuss like the adults do in the movies. So that's why I said sometimes it's real important to be mindful what you watch, what music you're listening to, because your brain's a little sponges. They're sponges. Your mind is absorbing like a sponge. If you put a sponge down or a paper towel down on top of water, the paper towel or the sponge sucks it up. That's like your brain. Your mind is sucking up the things that you're listening to and watching. So listen, it's not cool. Cussing, bad words, things that tear people down, they're really not good, okay? So I want us to really work on it. And to think about it, that when we read about Jesus and however we find that he did not use curse words or bad language, nor did he tell dirty jokes, he is the adult that we should try to be like, and not the movie stars on television who are disobeying God. I want to say that again. I know people think it's cool, they think that they can cuss, and they sound like grown-ups in these movies, and even some grown-ups you may know, which grown-ups, if you're listening, washing your mouth out with soap in your mind. Be transformed. New information brings about new speech. And so, Jesus, as I was saying, when you read about Jesus, you know, he never used curse words. And look at all the things that people did to him. People were swearing at him and calling him the devil, and people were, you know, just spitting on him and slapping him and just mistreating him, and he never cursed. And sometimes we find people who'll say a curse word and they think it's just okay that, you know, they bang their toe, they start cussing, someone takes something of theirs, they start cussing, you know, they get angry, they just, you know, people driving down the street, people start cussing out their window at other people. My goodness, so shameful. God is not pleased with that, okay? So remember, he is the adult. Jesus is the adult that we should try to obey. He is the one that we should try to be like. Not these movie stars, not these singers, not all these people who are disobeying God and being very shameful in what they're saying and how they're saying it. So that's the end of today's lesson. You know, what does God say about our words? I'm going to make sure this gets uploaded to your parents so that you can have this week's What God Says About Our Words. Be mindful, children, that you want to be someone who is building people up. You want to be encouraging them with your words. You want to be speaking kindly, and you want to just really want God to be pleased with what he hears coming out of your little mouths. So there was a movie that said, not a movie, a song that we would sing that said, be careful little eyes what you see. A lot of bad things on your TV. Be careful little ears what you hear. I forgot the rest of the words. But anyway, be careful. Because the devil is near. and he wants you to do the wrong things in life. So choose right today. Choose to speak kindly to others. Remember to be humane and not inhumane. Remember that you want to be lucid. You want people to understand you clearly with what you are saying. So children, today I'm just grateful that I've had the time to come to you this morning and not this afternoon. My day is busy today, but I'm thankful to God that we were able to do our lesson today. And remember, Friday, Zoom day. We want to see everybody we possibly can, from Guppies 1, Guppies 2, Pollywogs, and Tadpoles. We look forward to seeing you on Friday, Lord willing. But until then, I will see you tomorrow, Lord willing. Have a wonderful day, a thriving Tuesday, and may God bless you and keep you until we see each other again. Bye. Bye, Guppies 1. Bye, Guppies 2. Pollywogs, I see you, Tadpoles. Take care and have a wonderful day. Be a blessing.